Low key,
All right. All
Might
right, well,
have to,
boys.
because Jamal.
um,
Oh my
good news.
lord!
Good news. We're live
No,
now.
we see that we're live
We're
now,
live now.
Jamal. We see
Um,
that.
Hello, everyone.
oh yeah,
Hello.
hey y'all.
Yeah, everybody. Welcome
People
to
can watch us
welcome to
now.
GSM, where we're about 5 minutes in, and all of our conversations have not been recorded to this point.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in the comments section, y'all feel free, Bladen, Mr. Gumo, who did not know that we were live. Let me tell
Look
you.
for a mistake every episode, but usually not this tragic. Like,
Yeah, no.
Hey, he said music not this tragic. He was a game time decision, y'all. So cut him some slack.
Oh,
But
I'm not letting him
he's
off the
kind of
hook.
withholding the team. He should have just sat out.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
should have
it's
sat
serious.
out.
bro is
That probably
He
coaching.
was-
obviously is
Coaching for the locker
He
room.
said the best ability is availability, but right now you're the
Not right now.
liability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like go to the
50%.
bench,
You
bro.
giving us
Yeah,
that was a bar. Hold on.
No.
That was a bar.
Thank you.
That was a
That
bar.
was off the dome, by the way.
But man,
Well,
and it was spot on.
I think we found our first clip of the show. Wow, that was good. Hurtful, but good. And I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna put it in the bank, and I'm gonna cry later. Okay.
Bro was 3 for 16 in the first quarter. It's crazy.
Rough. I'm putting up tour dates right now. But if you couldn't tell, there was a nice, good, long conversation that we were having, and the problem was I didn't hit the live button, so we were kind of just talking amongst ourselves, and here we are, and now everybody's here to experience my idiocy and my stupidity, and welcome into your favorite show, your favorite podcast, the Gumball Sports Machine podcast, the show in which we love, we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile, and most importantly, we are positive, I guess, for the most part, and or conscious.
Like we're in an alternate dimension right now.
Yeah, this is
Rewind to lockdown. Press play again, bro.
I'm usually your host, Jamal Guma. I'm not sure what I am today, people.
Don't know.
No, that was a rough one. AKA Gumball, AKA Mr. Gumo, and we'll just introduce everybody again, except this time where people can actually see us. To my left is my dog, my boy David Largo, aka D-Lo, aka Flip Sayless, aka co-host D-Lo. And to my left, bottom, that guy. That is my dog, my OG, and the man we call the Generalizer, Tone. Tone, welcome. And of course, we got our expert when it comes to basketball and football, and there's nobody who analyzes the game better than the analyzer of GSM.
Between
Killer, the analyzer, Kyson, looking fantastic as always. Boys, okay.
Money,
How do you
today?
Huh?
Looking like money. You don't see his shirt?
I see what you did there.
And you want to know what's crazy though?
What am I looking like?
That whole conversation when he came in with the explanation, the guy behind him, that's not on video.
Yeah, so
we got none of that.
Yeah, so
we did get none of that.
What D-Lo's referring to is that, as y'all can see, I got my boy Fred, right? I introduced Fred, but I'm gonna introduce him for real this time. This is Fred.
Well,
it's awkward.
What's okay. You know, hold on. Let's dissect Fred. Okay. Well, Fred, what's Fred's?
Hey, yo,
again.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, this time people.
Well, look.
Yeah. See, but now the conversation of Fred is off. Like it feels like you're forcing it a little bit.
Look, Fred. Tones has said something about Luka.
Yeah, he playing the Luka defense, right?
He's playing the Luka defense stance. It's crazy. I'm with that one though.
All right. Well, hold on. Well, where's Fred from?
Man, I think Fred from
Is he one of those like
Tacoma, Washington type joint?
Washington, okay.
Because because we in war right now. We can't be, exporting and importing from different countries right now. So I gotta stay from within the country.
American.
So he's from down the street, Tacoma.
Tacoma. Okay. So I mean, if he was from like south side of Chicago, I'd be a little bit more comfortable. But I mean, I guess Tacoma will do.
Yeah, look, that's why he quiet because it be raining a lot over there, so he depressed. Like he don't got much to say. You
He
know,
look
so
like he's on point though. He's looking for.
exactly
He has great posture.
militant,
He has great
militant.
posture. His great posture. Look,
Yeah,
he's
he's 6'1"
very.
too, and he yamming. I
Yeah.
mentioned that before, but he yamming like so.
Don't get
We
caught.
we can put him on the court, see what's up.
Dilo, what do you think of Fred? How do you feel about Fred?
Hey, he's got a really long neck, and
Oh, all
that
right.
that and that's really it. You know what I
All
mean?
right. Well, that. Thanks for bringing race into it, Dilo. So that's always fun.
Why? What?
I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not 100% here, boys. I'm kind of just
It's not
uh,
February anymore.
that.
Okay. You know what I mean? I don't
All
think they got a
right.
race month in March. I don't think that's a thing.
And
It's Women's Month.
just like that,
That's
there's clip
but
number
but
two.
that's not a race though, right?
That's all right.
Sexist.
Well, that yeah,
No,
Dilo, you're
we
a
can say the same thing
misogynistic,
for
racist white
men.
man.
We can say
You're a
the same thing for
misogynistic,
men.
racist white man.
Listen,
Oh, and that's another thing, y'all. Fred, he asexual. He's no gender. He
Oh,
not a boy or
asexual.
girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
asexual.
yeah.
Okay. The A was cut out of the sound, so I
I
said
said
I'll
I
remember.
yeah,
said it the
Fred,
other way. I didn't say A. I
Fred
said
is sexual.
Fred is
Yes.
I was
sexual.
like
Okay, all right. Well, Kyson, what you have going on in your house don't got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying,
Look,
brother? But hey,
he.
look, it's 2026. It's acceptable. Okay.
And let me tell you, this is now
Hey,
suddenly turning into a
we
whack
don't.
show. What's going?
Look, we accept all genders. I'm just saying he don't
You're
got
absolutely
one.
right. Yeah.
He
Okay. All
he
right.
don't got one. He not part of no community.
All right, and welcome back to the whack show,
All
everybody.
right. Well,
This is
you
what
know,
happens when we press live and we just hear.
yeah,
Like
this is all off script. Okay, this was not planned. This was strictly improvisation.
And we ain't had a squad on the pod in like almost 2 weeks. So we
It's been a
back.
little while.
Back.
It's been a little while
yeah,
since we've all
yeah.
been
Yeah,
together. You know what?
there's another person in that group chat who could also be here, but
There is.
you know,
Yeah, you know what? He reminds me a little bit of Fred.
Sometimes he don't. I don't think he's seeing the messages.
Don't say much, huh?
You don't see them. My bad. My bad.
Tony, can I talk to you over here for a second, brother? Can I just have a little quick conversation with you? All right. Well,
everybody, welcome back to the Wave Show.
and welcome.
Where we get culturally questionable here.
If you're playing if you're, take 4 drinks if you're playing the Asian racist joke.
So wait, yeah. With that being said, that means I got my spinoff is coming soon, y'all. With that being said,
It is.
my spinoff is coming soon.
It absolutely is, and I'm so very 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 excited for that because I cannot wait for that. That'd be fantastic.
We rolling, boys.
The N word is allowed. D-Lo.
What? What?
You got my permission here, bro.
I'm getting the
Anybody
freedom.
play with you? Anybody play with you? Just know we got you.
Hold on. What?
Just for it's like temporary.
It's just for that hour and a half when Jamal does not hit the live button. Just for that 1 hour and a half, okay?
I'm gonna have to leak some. I'm gonna have to catch him hacking.
Oh, we on your show right now?
This is
Well, Fred, tell him to relax.
Listen, Fred has to take some control around here, okay? All right. What are we supposed to be talking about? Anyways,
we started with March Madness, and it got deleted because you didn't press the live button. So
that is true. The live button was not pressed. Good news, boys. The live button has been pressed, and we are now live for 17 countries and 8 third world countries to see us. All right. I'm done yapping. Okay, the Elite Eight is over, boys. The Final Four has been set, and the Final Four will take place in Indianapolis. No, that's a state. And it will be Arizona and Michigan on one side of the bracket, and it will be Illinois and UConn on the other side of the bracket. There were, of course, 4 Elite Eight games that took place this weekend, and boy, were they some good ones outside of Michigan and Tennessee, because that was a kind of demolishing. But let's talk about this Duke and UConn game. Duke was up the whole game, and they were dominating. They were up by 15. They were the first team in the Elite Eight ever in college basketball history to be up by 15 or more points at halftime and lose the game. And that's what they did today. UConn stormed back, and they brought it to within 2 at the end of the game. And all Duke had to do was hold the ball. All they had to do was hold the ball, get fouled, go to the line, and seal the game. Caden Boozer did not do that. I think it was safe to say. Caden Boozer turned the ball over. UConn recovered the ball, and Braylon Mullins hit the dagger right with 0.4 seconds left on the clock. D'Lo, what happened in this game that what did Duke not do or do for them to lose this game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to put it. They choked, and it's just as simple as that. They were up 19 um, at the half. What are you gonna do? I mean, you come out and you put up a stinker in the second half, and I mean they were stagnant, and we saw that in the first few rounds where they had points where they just didn't look like they knew what they were doing. I obviously talked about Cameron Boozer and how he, at the start of the tournament, almost looked indecisive. But in the second half, I guess it just translated to the whole team. And on top of that, they just forgot how to play defense. Because, you come back 19, that means they outscored you by 20 in the second half. What are you going to do? Uh, Now, I know everyone wants to talk about the turnover, which I guess it's fine. Like, there were two players wide open down there. If he throws the ball a little higher, game over. But also, as you mentioned, if they just hold the ball and shoot free throws, the game is also potentially over. So I'm not mad at the decision, but again, this is March. Anything can happen, and we saw it. And this will go down as one of the greatest games in March Madness like history. It was a phenomenal game.
Kyson, what is it about Duke? I mean, Duke has had all these players come through. Of course, Cameron Boozer this year, Cooper Flag last year, Zion Williamson, RJ Barrett, and they just have not been able to. Con Knappel, like they've had all these guys come through here, and they just have not been able to get the job done. Nope, I refuse to say them. And they just haven't been able to get the job done.
Jason Tatum.
No, well, D'Lo said it. Why have they just not been able to get over the hump? What is it about these teams that have the elite players? It's not like they don't have the roster to do it, but again, like this year, they haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Duke has always been top heavy. They always got the high caliber players, your 5-star recruits, and things of that nature. But when it comes to having a full 10 to 12 meg roster, they've always fell short in these type of situations because that's what it takes. I'm looking at the stats, and both teams shot terrible from the three, but UConn, the experience, and most importantly, the coaching is what stood out to me. They just kept fighting. They did not give up. They kept switching it up, kept trying to tweak, adjust things, and it just felt like Duke just I won't say coasted, but didn't make any adjustments, didn't adjust to the adjustments that Dan Hurley was making. And that's why this game was close again. Cause I was watching it and at one point I turned it off because I'm like, oh yeah, Duke got this, up 20. And then I look again, they're up 6. Oh. So that's when I turned it back on, and that's when I really seen UConn just be relentless. Like kept even though they weren't shooting good from three, they kept shooting them. That kid Mullins, that was his first made of the night, and it was from 33, 34 feet. Like it was from deep. So I think that's just a team believing in their coaches, believing in the program, believing in what they went to training camp for and things of that nature. And Duke is just a one and done spot. Come through, get my name up, get my money up now, since it's legal to make money now, and go about my business. And with that being said, Cam Boozer, I, I was saying AJ was the best prospect, but Cam Boozer, it's in my personal opinion, he's a can't miss prospect. If he doesn't go number one overall, that's it's gonna be a foolish mistake. He has court vision, can rebound, defend, score all three levels. I mean, I think one problem he might have is he probably doesn't have that dog in him to take the last shot to take over a game like they said about LeBron when he was coming out. But I think he can work around that because he's just so well rounded. But man, tough loss for Duke. But hey, don't sleep on UConn, man. They've been here before. They've won national championships before with their same coach, and I think that's something to tilt their cap to.
Tone, when you look at this game, and for UConn to be down 15 at the half, again, against a team like Duke, what did you make of the effort and just the wherewithal from UConn to be able to come back? And how important is it to have really just a mindset like that in order to not really not get thrown off when you're down by that much to that strong of a basketball team like Duke?
I think you and I spoke to it in the previous pod as some of the experience, and like Twin said, is they have an experienced coach. So someone who can tell you that they've been in this position before and trust and tell you that he trusts you enough to come back and just keep doing what you're doing and stick to the script and anything's possible. That gives the players a sense of belief right there. I also think that Kyson pointed out a big a highlight point is that Duke tends to have these one and done players. And I often think that some of them even have to come in with the mindset is with this one and done is regardless of what we do here, I'm going to the league. And sometimes that shows throughout certain points of the season. And it's hard to hide that once you think something, it's there. You could try to tell yourself in the heat of the moment but you've already thought that through, and you're like, oh. And sometimes the tables turn. But I think that they were a little. Their main score was more consistent than the Boozer brother, and I feel like that's partially where that comeback comes from. The Boozer brother shot barely 50%, and what's the kid's name? Reed.
Yep, Charles Reed.
Yeah, he went 10 for 16, and so that allows more mistakes. Like that's just what happens when you have somebody who shoots that efficiently. And then the rest of the guys made up for those mistakes, man. And that was a great game, a lot of good energy. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the future. I will say, just before I pass the torch, is that I disagree, and I do think AJ will be the number one pick, just due to how the 3-point shot has become so effective in the NBA now. AJ shoots that a little bit better than the Boozer brother, but I will say that I think it's heavily dependent upon who gets the first pick, because if it's a team like Indiana, they have Pascal Siakam. They really don't need Boozer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Boozer's really, I don't think he's going to play a lot of three. He might play the three, but he's not going to play a lot of three. He's going to play more four. That's what I would think.
Pause. If Indiana gets the first pick, that's going to be I might not watch the NBA because that's insane. But you don't see a little Tatum in him?
In the Boozer brother?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he got that type of handle.
Bro, he can facilitate, like, for real.
In college, I don't know if he can do the same thing in the NBA. Those are two different beasts. But I like his game. Like, I'm not trying to take away from. I think he's going to be an all-star. You know what I'm saying? Superstar is hard to call in college, to be honest. There's been other guys that I thought had it, and then they get to the league and they have to take a back seat. It's just you have to, like you said, certain players don't have that dog, and you have to have ultra confidence in yourself to become a star in the NBA.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I think the fun thing about that is we get to see them in the biggest moments. I mean, unfortunately, we won't get to see Cam Boozer in the Final Four, but we'll get to see an elite program in the Final Four in UConn. So which will be fun. And again, they'll be going up against Illinois, a team that's also been very, very good this season. Um, and yeah, I mean, in terms of the UConn Duke game, I mean, the experience showed. Tony, you mentioned it. Dan Hurley is an experienced coach in this game. He has won a national championship. He's done it at the highest level for as long as I can remember. And they were more consistent towards the end. Taurus Reed had a phenomenal game. Braylon Mullins obviously hit the big shot. Speaking of a big shot, D'Lo, you mentioned this was one of the greatest. This is one of the best games in March Madness history, and I absolutely agree. What I want to ask you is the moment, right? The moment that is Braylon Mullins hitting this shot from, as deep as it did, and the moment in which he did. This is the Elite Eight. This isn't, the round of 64. This isn't, one of the first rounds of the tournament. This is the Elite Eight. This is the game that can take you to the Final Four and can get you an opportunity to play in the national championship. When you look back at some of the moments at all time in March Madness history, you look at the Kemba Walker shot, just probably about, 15 years ago, whatever the case is. You look at Jalen Suggs. Huh?
This is a quick shout out to my guy, Shabazz Napier. That's my dog, man.
Yeah, Shabazz Napier. I mean, Jalen Suggs' half-court shot to win the game. Where does this moment rank for you in terms of just like, and you can relate it to any sport, honestly. But like this is a big moment in a big game. Where does this moment kind of rank to you in terms of just the greatest moments really in recent history?
It's up there. It's definitely up there. If top five, I definitely think that, well, it depends how recent you want to talk. Because I think my favorite March Madness, just in general, over the past, I don't know, let's say 15, 20 years, is Loyola. I loved their run all the way to the Elite Eight. I think that for me was, it was just so fun to watch them, that it was almost captivating in a way where it's not just one moment like this is, it's just a combination of run after run after run all the way to get there. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned a couple. You mentioned Kemba, Chris Jenkins, his game winner. You talk about Shabazz Napier. You talk about Trey Burke in 2013. Like, there's just a lot of moments. So I'd probably say top five, though. Probably would.
Kyson, is there a moment in recent history or March Madness history that kind of stands out to you more than this moment? Again, for the moment that this was, for the game that this was, and for what they had to go through in fighting all the way back from down 15 and almost 20, and coming back to win again against a number one seed, a team that a lot of people thought could and should win the entire thing, and for UConn to come back and win it in the fashion that they did. Is there a moment that was bigger than this that stands out to you?
And not in recent memory. I mean, if you think about it, all those moments y'all talking about was a decade ago, right? If you want to get more recent, Villanova, when Dante DiVincenzo and them boys was there, they had that game winner in the national championship. You can go there, but in terms of recent, we haven't had a shot like this or a moment like this or a game like this in quite some time. So I'm gonna go. I think this is a huge moment, especially for the 2020s, right? This is already top two in the 2020s in March Madness history, right? So I'm going to go on that tip, and it was an amazing game. Like I said, I told you I turned it off, and then I'm looking at some comments and like making fun of Duke. I'm like, wait a minute, and then next thing you know, it's like I said, it was a close game, and that's something that's what March Madness is all about. Two teams duking it out, and a team looking way better than another team, and then the other team willing themselves back. And that's why I said don't sleep on UConn, man. They might have a shot to shock the world. With that being said, hey, our boys, our home state boys, they in it. They ain't been here in a while. They haven't looked this good in a while. Speaking of U of A, so I honestly feel like that matchup between them and Michigan will determine it. But But back to the topic, yeah. I think this is already a top two moment in the 2020s so far.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kaisa, you say top two. Is Jalen Suggs the other one?
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, because that was that made me know who he was. I
Man,
mean,
man did the
that
D
kind of
Wade.
put casual in me, but hey, that put him on the map in my opinion, like officially.
Go ahead, Tom.
So you went to D Wade on the table, right? After that.
Yep. When it sit on the table. Yeah, that's probably my favorite March Madness moment in history, the Jalen Suggs one. This is a close second again for what they had to go through and how they had to fight back. Um, so for Braylon Mullins, a moment like this, a guy that didn't hit a three the whole game. He had 7 points leading up to that shot. He was 0 for 4 from three, and he was just not. He was not having a very good game offensively. And for him to get a shot like this, get an opportunity like this, and to take advantage of it, as a young guy like that, in that moment in the Elite Eight against Duke, what how can that propel and just boost the confidence of a guy that really was struggling the entire game and then hit the biggest shot of the game?
It does. I mean, basketball's a make or miss sport, but if he can, if it can overcome whatever doubt he had, after those missed shots, and he can turn this into a motivational moment for the rest of the round. Who knows, man? Because they're obviously going to need some more offense to get past Illinois and or Michigan or the U of A. You can't just have these type of games and expect to win the next two games. And it's hard to really rely on one person to carry you each and every game. Um, but he's a shooter, shoot, man, and it's a good thing as a coach to see a guy continue shooting when they're struggling, and then I'm sure it's fabulous as a player to see one go down in a big moment.
Yeah, that was a big shot. And again, for a kid like Braylon Mullins, that was huge for them, and that could do wonders for his confidence going into the Final Four. Speaking of the Final Four, Kyson, I'm glad that you brought up U of A and company because
Before
it's
we go, before we go,
Mhm.
can we talk about St. Peter's? Because I completely forgot about them. Because I feel like they are also in that top three
They what did they make it to? Did they make it to the
to the Elite
Elite
Eight
Eight? They also
as
made
a
it to the Elite Eight.
15 seed.
Yeah, yeah.
They beat number two Kentucky, and then they also beat number three Purdue, and then number seven somebody.
Man, that was what 2019.
22. That was
Oh, that's
2022.
22. Wow, that
Yeah,
was a long. That was not as long ago as I thought. Am I getting old? All right,
we are.
we're getting a little old. Okay. All right. Well,
We could ask
ouch.
Tone about it.
Oh,
Whoa!
okay. All right. Well, I guess D'Lo and Tone can have a conversation in the next room about it. But okay, real quick, I'm glad that Final Four. Okay, the Final Four is set, and we'll have a show on Thursday because there will be the Final Four isn't until next Saturday, so we'll have a chance to preview and tell us, and we'll tell you guys who we think is going to win on Thursday. But let's just talk a little bit for a minute or two here. D'Lo, U of A, Michigan. Is there somebody that stands out to you? Is there something within the two teams that stands out to you that could be a game changer in this matchup, in the U of A and Michigan matchup?
Yeah. Mm. This for me is like the game of the tourney. Because these have been the two best teams of March Madness for me. Um, they've just essentially beat everybody, and pretty handedly too. Obviously, Michigan mollywopped Tennessee today, and then when you look at it, Arizona beat number two Purdue by 15. And they're doing it without heavily relied three ball. They haven't needed it, which is crazy to me because I said that they would, and clearly they haven't. And so for me, it's tough because I I want to say that Michigan is gonna win this game. Obviously, the hometown in me is rooting for Arizona, but it's hard because Michigan to me has looked like the best team in the tourney, and it's close between them and Arizona. But the thing is that Michigan, they can shoot it a little bit, and I haven't seen that from Arizona. So I think that's really the key. I think whoever shoots the ball better will win this game.
Kyson, you've been watching U of A all the whole tournament, and for a lot of this season, and you know what they're capable of. And Michigan, like D'Lo said, I also agree with him. I do think Michigan has been the best team, the most consistent team in the tournament. But U of A has also looked very, very strong at a lot of points in this tournament. These two are now going head to head in the Final Four. What stands out to you about this matchup the most, and what are you going to be looking for?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they going against each other now and not the national championship because, man, like D'Lo said, these have been the two best teams in the tournament, and I'm kind of with D'Lo also with leaning towards Michigan, just because of the consistency they've been showing. They haven't showed really any lapses so far. As for Arizona, they were kind of lax. I won't say lackadaisical, but they weren't in their full potential in that first half against Purdue, and then in the second half, obviously they blew it out the water. So that does give them, a bit of a resilient factor in their game. But I mean, you can't really not come 100% against Michigan. They're gonna make you pay for it. So I can definitely see this being a game like today where Michigan may be winning by a lot and Arizona tries to pull it close. Um, I just think the defense is what's been setting the tone. I mean, Purdue didn't even score 60 points. Wait, it was 79-64, right? Yeah, they couldn't even score 70 points, in the high scoring area that we are in today. So, with that being said, I think, yeah, I gotta go slightly towards Michigan just because the consistency factor. I think that plays a factor in, man. I think the city and the state of Michigan is just fully behind them. I've been hearing they be comparing this team to Fat Five, right? Like
Oh
that's
man,
how high they've been speaking about this Michigan team. So we'll
yeah.
see if they're up for the challenge.
Yeah, and Tone, I think a few of the biggest things that it's going to stand out to me in this game will be the defense, mainly because both teams are good defensively, but Arizona has kind of relied on his defense all year. They've relied on their defense to turn into offense, getting out on the break. Um, and it's going to be their defense to get how are they going to be able to contain Yaxel Lundenberg, who's been fantastic the whole tournament. And speaking of which, are the front court of U of A, are Cole Pete and Krivas, are they going to be able to dominate the paint the way that they've been able to the entire tournament? If they're able to do that, I think they have a good chance of winning. Um, Tone, what stands out to you the most, and what do you think could swing this game one way or the other from Arizona or Michigan?
I think the fellas made some great points. I do believe shooting will be a factor in this, and then I believe that Arizona's defense can be another factor. Um, like Lowe said, Michigan can shoot the ball. If Koa has to go out and guard, what's his name, Lindenberg?
Lundenberg, yep, actually Lundenberg.
If he has to guard him on the perimeter more than he's had to guard some of the other guys, well, then that paint's going to open up a little bit for some of Michigan's guards to eat. But as I do believe that Boozer's better, but Lindenberg has been playing a marvelous tournament, man. That dude has been really, really, really consistent, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's moved up in the draft board. And if he can continue to do this for these final two games, I don't know if he does make a big move. That dude has been balling like out of his mind, and he's hard to stop when he can shoot the way he can and attack the basket. He grabs boards, and that's really what I think is going to be a big factor as well. Is if you guys allow them to get second chance points. it's going to be tough, man, because again, they can shoot the ball a little bit better. So they don't have to catch the ball on the perimeter and drop back to the basket. They get those open looks off of those offensive boards and knock down big shots. But it's going to be a good battle to see because they have one of the best offensives in the game, and you guys have one of the best defenses. And by you guys, I mean Arizona. Um, but again, I think it's going to be a great game, and I do agree with Kyson that it's tough that we're not seeing this to be the championship because it would have been a great championship game.
Yeah, I think whoever wins this game has a good chance of winning the championship, and that's no disrespect to UConn or Illinois because I think they could win the championship. But Arizona and Michigan have really been the two best teams in the country, really, the whole season. Real quick. Speaking of which, UConn and Illinois, I think that's also going to be another really, really, really great game. UConn and Illinois both have some really, really key pieces on those basketball teams could swing the game either way. Illinois, they have Andre Stojakovic, who had one heck of a game against who they just beat in the Elite Eight. I don't know why I'm thinking Iowa. That's right, Iowa. And really helped them turn the corner in that game. Kylan Boswell is one of their seniors, one of their experienced guys. He's a great perimeter defender. He's going to give Tars Reed some problems. And they, of course, Keaton Wagler, the freshman, who was fantastic in the second half of that game in the Elite Eight against Iowa for Illinois. And this is a team that dominates the paint. They get into the paint and they control the game from there. They hit threes when they need to, but they are really a rim running team. They like to get downhill. They like to draw fouls, get into that bonus so that they can get to the free throw line and get a lot of their money there, get a lot of their points there. And UConn, if UConn is a fast-paced team, that's a Dan Hurley run team, that's an experienced team, that's a team that knows how to win and understands what they need to do to win. Like I said, Tars Reed had a great game today, 26 points on 10 of 16 shooting, very efficient. He's going to be a problem for Illinois to defend. And Braylon Mullins, who struggled today but hit the game winner. So that's going to be another good game I really, really, really look forward to in the Final Four. D'Lo, is there anything that stands out to you in that matchup, the UConn and Illinois matchup?
I just want to go back to Michigan, and I want to point out that they haven't scored under 90 the entire tournament.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
But no, because I think for a lot of us, we had Duke coming out of that side of the bracket, and a lot of us had Duke winning the entire tournament, myself included. So I just think that for UConn, this was a prove it game, and I think that they are ready for that big stage. Because this was my Elite Eight matchup, and I wanted to pick UConn, but I just overall thought that Duke was a better team, which for the first half they were.
Yep.
And overall in the game they were not. So it's just tough. And when you look at it, it's so hard to predict these March Madness games because it's one and done. It's just like the NFL. NFL playoffs are so hard to predict because you just never know what can happen over the course of this one game. It's what makes this fun. It's what makes NFL playoffs exciting. It's what makes March Madness March Madness. So I mean, you never really know. But I think if you're UConn, you just gotta shoot the ball better. I mean, 20% from the three is just not gonna get it done. So they got to shoot better from the three, but also from the field. They shot 43% from the field total. And they were really they relied on Duke to get cold, and they did. So it just can't happen against Illinois. So they're just going to have to be better coming out.
Kyson, what stands out to you in this UConn and Illinois matchup?
What stands out to me is that UConn just beat Duke.
It's a good. That sticks out like a sore thumb.
So, and Iowa, it was a real quick. A fun fact is that my girlfriend's side of the family, they're huge Hawkeyes fans. So it was a good story to talk about. Elite Eight, things of that nature. But they weren't Duke or Michigan or Arizona. So I got UConn in this matchup. I think UConn will shoot a lot better than what they did. And like I mentioned before, just because you're not shooting well doesn't mean you stop shooting. They shot a bunch of threes, missed a bunch too. and they made the ones that counted. I think they should a lot better against Illinois. I think they're gonna. Uh, their defense is amazing. Let's just put that out there. They probably, I don't know, as between them and U of A, I don't know who's got the better D between the two. But UConn, that's what kept them in the game, the defense. So I think they're gonna bring that same intensity. Um, Dan Hurley's like, hey, I'm back here. I mean, what can go wrong? So I'm going UConn, man. I think their ticket to the national championship was punched today.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, that was a big win over, a powerhouse that is Duke, and the scary thing, Tone, to me about it is Illinois. I mean, obviously they're kind of the slept on team. They're not the blue blood, that is Arizona or Michigan or UConn, but they are a really good basketball team. And the team that they just beat in the Elite Eight, Houston, had the best defense, I believe, in the country. And Illinois has one of the best, I think the second rated best offense in the country. And again, they got a lot of problems offensively, and they hung in there with Houston, and they beat Houston. What stands out to you in this matchup between UConn and Illinois?
The fact that kind of what Kyson said, the fact that UConn really played subpar basketball besides Reed and still found a way to win. And so I think that if they play better, then they really have good chances to win this next game. But like you said, Illinois does have one of the better offenses we've seen, and so they'll have to play their caliber defense in this game as well. Oh shit, flying here. Sorry, kids. I'm
All
bad.
right, well, he's hallucinating. It's okay. It happens to the best of us.
I got a fly in here. Okay. See. But I need Ball to play a little bit better. The point guard from UConn,
Yeah.
man. I need him to play better. And I feel like he's going to be key in this matchup. And hopefully we come out with another dub, man. By we, I'm saying UConn because they're from the Northeast, and that's my side of the town.
All right. Well, it's not Boston College, but I mean, I guess whatever. Or Massachusetts, you know what I'm saying? Well, everybody has their own preference. No, yeah, I'm very, very, very much looking forward to the Final Four in Indianapolis, and of course, the women's Final Four will be here in downtown Phoenix at Mortgage Matchup Arena. So will also be very, very fun. Okay, fellas, let's move on to the big leagues. Let's move on to the NBA. The Western Conference, of course, we know is a powerhouse. And as we come down the stretch here, hold on. As we come down the stretch here, the playoffs is coming. The playoffs are right around the corner. And obviously we know who the favorite is in the West, right? It's the reigning champions. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder, and with the guy who may just win MVP again, back-to-back seasons. Tone, is there a team in the Western Conference? I know you like Wemby, but that's a young basketball team over there. And so is there a team that stands out to you in the Western Conference that poses not just a threat, but is the biggest threat to dethrone Oklahoma City Thunder in the 2026 NBA playoffs?
It pains me to say this because, like you just stated, I've been screaming. I've been on the Wemby boat the past, I don't know, five months of basketball. But playoffs are a different caliber basketball, man. And I'm gonna have to go with the Denver Nuggets, man. I don't think they've been playing their best brand of basketball the past 3 weeks, but I've still noticed that they've come out with some big wins. And in the playoffs, I don't know if Chet's gonna be able to maintain, and that means they're gonna have to rely on a lot more Hartenstein if those two teams match up against one another. And Hartenstein doesn't bring the caliber offense that they'll need to get over the hump, which would be the Denver Nuggets. And I mean, they've done it before, but I do think that Jamal Murray has shown glimpses of him being old Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon is back healthy. They got my guy back over there, and Brucey B. I like Christian Braun too. Like they've gotten some guys back healthy, and ready to play some playoff basketball. And as much as I would love to say the San Antonio Spurs, because I love Wemby's game. I brag about Stephon Castle all the time, and playoffs are a different brand, and the depth chart shrinks a little bit. And you got to have a little bit of that experience to have that confidence in yourself when it comes down to the wire. And I think Jokic can go out there and give those guys some trouble, man. And he's gonna get that whistle love too again because he is two time MVP,
Three time.
3 time MVP.
3 time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with the Denver Nuggets.
Tone. Kyson, obviously your favorite team is in the West. You are a Rockets fan, who have been good this year, who will be in the NBA playoffs. Um, so I maybe you can relate to this a little bit more, but in terms of the West, who is the biggest threat to the Oklahoma City Thunder? Is it your Rockets, or is it, like Tone said, a lot of people believe is the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic and his Denver Nuggets, or is it the young San Antonio Spurs? Who is the biggest threat you believe to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the West?
Yeah, so it's funny because what D'Lo was saying about the NCAA tournament, I get it's a 7 game series, but matchups matter, man, and that's why I love the playoffs because just because you might have 4-0 swept the team in the regular season, and a guy gets hurt, one of your guys get hurt, that helped you beat that team, and now it's a different series. But that being said, I think matches really do matter. So for the Rockets to compete with the Oklahoma City Thunder, they would have to gain transition defense out the blue, out the ordinary, which is not happening. We're not going to become a good transitional team overnight. So with that being said, the Rockets, unfortunately, are not the biggest threat to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the West. And go down, I'm thinking the Lakers, but then same thing. Transitional defense is not all the way there. You not you really don't have to the perimeter enough perimeter defenders to keep up with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So no Lakers. The Timberwolves don't have enough offense. Um, so that narrows it down to 2 teams in my opinion: the Spurs and the Nuggets. Um, I got a bad feeling. I hate to bring it up. I'm not gonna what. I'm not gonna what. I got a bad feeling that the Thunder are gonna deal with what the Celtics dealt with last year: injuries. They just played one of the first games with the full lineup again. Chet in the lineup, uh, J Dub in the lineup, Ihart in the lineup. Everyone back. Casey Wallace, he just came back, and it was good to see. It was good to see. Can they keep that up? Can they stay healthy? If they can't, the Spurs are right there. I think the Spurs. Understand what Tony is saying. The experience, it's not there, but the defense is, and the matchups, they match up well. They can throw a couple different pieces at Shea, and you just have Wimby. People are legit scared to go up against this guy, right? So I think health plays a big factor. I think matchups play a big factor, and I think the Spurs match up the best with the Thunder, and I think they're the biggest threat.
Low. Tone says the Nuggets. Kyson says the Spurs. There are a few teams that could pose a legitimate threat to the Thunder in the Western Conference and stop them from getting back to the finals and winning back-to-back finals. Who's the biggest threat you believe to the Oklahoma City Thunder from setting a big old roadblock on the path to back-to-back NBA championships?
The This is a really loaded question because I think that the West is so stacked that there are four separate teams that can come out of the West. Um, not n- including the Thunder. Obviously, I like San Antonio. Tone has liked to bring it up in our conversations. They're 3-1 against the Thunder this year, so As he puts it, they have a recipe for the Thunder, and that recipe is Wemby hates Chet, and and it's
Yeah,
as simple as that, really.
accurate statement.
But looking at the other two teams, the Nuggets, they've been there, they have the experience, and they've played really good basketball this year. Even with Jokic out of the lineup, I feel like this is their best year, where Jokic hasn't had to be completely Jokic. And that's part of the reason why he's falling in the MVP race, is just because the rest of the Nuggets have been really good. As I think Tone mentioned, though, they haven't looked like Nugget basketball in the past 3 weeks, but I still expect them to turn it on come playoff time. But the other threat to that, and based off of where they're seated right now, is the Timberwolves. I think we're cutting them not enough piece of the pie for them being back to back in Western Conference appearances. I feel like we're underrating that a little much. And if we want to talk about playoff risers, that is Anthony Edwards. We've seen him do it time and time again now for the past, what, 3, 4 years? He's done it.
Yep.
He's played phenomenal. Outside barring for Jamal, Western Conference Finals games, because I think at that point he kind of just runs out of gas.
Yeah.
But I don't think that we're giving them enough credit. I mean, this is a team that defensively they can get it done, and when Anthony Edwards is on the floor, their offense looks electric. And so he's obviously out right now, but when he comes back, I fully expect them to contend. And the thing is that he won't see the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals this year. He'll see them in the second round, if they beat the Nuggets. So from that perspective, there is no excuse this time. We can't say that he ran out of gas, because he's been great in the second and first rounds the past couple of years. So I think that the Timberwolves are also a sneaky candidate to get them out in the second round. So I think any of those two. I'm not high on the Lakers. I've said this time and time again. I get they're the third seed. I get Luka Doncic has been probably the best player in the world since all of the divorce news has happened. And the custody battle Doncic, right? But they don't move me at all. And part of that is they're number two. Well, some call them number two, some call them number three, whatever you want to call them. Austin Reeves does not move the needle for me. I'm still not a believer in Austin Reeves. I get he's having a great year, but come playoff time, he's a liability. Just like Luca, he's a liability on defense. And you're trusting him to then outscore the other team on offense. And he's been great at it this year, but come playoff time, everybody kicks it up, especially defensively. I don't think he's going to be scoring 27 a game in the playoffs. So I'm completely out on the Lakers. And then same thing with the Rockets. They just haven't been consistent enough for me, especially defensively. They look atrocious. So yeah, it's really those four teams for me.
Yeah, I mean, all of you make a great point. To me, the Spurs can be one of two things. I think the Spurs could just absolutely dominate everybody in the West and make one of those crazy, unexpected runs to the NBA Finals, or they could get accidentally upset in the first round by the Clippers or the Suns. I think it could be one of those two. I don't know if there's going to be any in between. I don't know if there's going to be any. They they play a really good first round, play a really good second round, and then just struggle in the conference finals. Or I think it's going to be one or the other. That's why I don't know if they're my biggest threat to the Thunder in the West. But yeah, I agree with Tone. The biggest threat to me in the West to the Oklahoma City Thunder is the Denver Nuggets, and it's because they have the best player in the world. That's really the only reason why. And they had a bunch of people who step up their game in the NBA playoffs. They have Jamal Murray, who is unbelievable in the playoffs and has been over the tenure of his career. They have Bruce Brown, who's been there, done that with the Denver Nuggets, so he's comfortable, he's experienced with that team. And then they have guys like Aaron Gordon, who was also on that championship team. They have Cam Johnson, who has that finals experience, who's been there and done it at the highest level. They have a bunch of guys who can play their role at the highest level when they absolutely are needed to the most. And that's kind of why I like the Denver Nuggets the most, even more than the Oklahoma City Thunder to come out of the West, just because. And D'Lo, you kind of mentioned it, or I'm sorry, actually, all of you guys I think mentioned it. The health problems that OKC has dealt with throughout the season, they kind of worry me a little bit in terms of not really their chemistry because they've done it before with each other, but just them staying healthy and having enough pieces to go beat the Denver Nuggets, to go beat a Los Angeles Lakers, to go beat a Houston Rockets. So I like Denver a lot in the Western Conference. As you know, all that can change though. All that can change. So the West is going to be a MF for anybody who's coming out of the West this season. So before we move on to the East, any final comments on the Western Conference this year?
Them Suns.
You can show the comments. I think.
Them Suns talking about.
You know what? Real quick question, Kaiser, before or Tone, before we get to the comments. The Suns worry me a lot right now. They're not playing their best basketball, although they did have their way with the Jazz. But again, it's the Jazz. I think the Jazz want teams to have their way with them. But they won the game that they were supposed to. Jalen Green looked phenomenal in that game. 31 points through 3 quarters. These last 8 games for the Suns are going to determine a lot for me. They're going to determine a lot for me. Dylan Brooks is on his way back to getting healthy. He should be back this week. Mark Williams is on his way to getting back healthy. He also should be back this week. And so once they get their guys back, Grayson Allen is looking like he should remain in the lineup throughout the rest of the season. So I think once they get healthy, I think they can be a problem. But again, it just scares me that they don't have the roster. They don't have the talent to go up against the Spurs or the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Denver Nuggets, whoever they may face in the playoffs. Obviously, if they win their play-in matchup, they would be playing against the Spurs. But even if, on some miracle, they beat the Spurs in the first round of the playoffs, do you have enough to go beat the Denver Nuggets? Do you have enough to go beat the Lakers in a 7-game series? That's what worries me the most about the Suns. But let's see. Kevin, Tone, you referred to him earlier in the show. Call back. That's if you want to make that call back, it's okay. You can, brother, and nobody going to stop you. You know what I'm saying? But see, there you go. Kevin said Caden Boozer sucks. Well, he doesn't necessarily suck. He made a really dumb play in the moment. That's what he absolutely did do. But yeah, that was a really, really bad mistake by Caden Boozer. Shout out Cole Pete, local kid, local guy, one guy I'm rooting for. The biggest reason why I'm rooting for U of A to win it all. Cole Pete, great player, great kid. Yeah, Stephon, I don't know if he locks up SGA, Stephon Castle, but he definitely gives SGA more problems than a lot of people do in the NBA. Ayo Dosunmu was a good pickup, he says, for the Wolves. He's very good defensively. It's going to be tough to get him, to see where he fits in minutes when AE comes back and when he's healthy again. That's the only thing I worry about in terms of going into the playoffs. But it was a good pickup. He's played really, really well for them. And he says, "My son,
I need to adjust him to play the one, not like really facilitate, but just play off-ball point guard. Because AE really runs the one a lot in the playoffs. He brings up the basketball, but he's a phenomenal defender, and he can score off the ball as well. So I think he'll be needed in the playoffs. And in this stint without AE, he's played phenomenal basketball.
He has played really well. Bones Highland has also played really, really well in this stint. They got some guys are getting some opportunities to play without Anthony Edwards in the lineup, and they're showing up and showing out. And then he says the Suns aren't healthy, which is true. I'm hoping they get healthy over these last stretch of the season. So hopefully that is the case, and we're able to get back to the basketball we were playing earlier in the year. But I don't know how realistic that is. Okay. Let's move on to the East, fellas. And obviously, the team that made the NBA Finals last year is one of the worst teams in the association. So that's not exactly a threat to win the NBA Finals because I think they've been mathematically eliminated to make any of the postseason games. So the biggest thing to me is the biggest threat right now in the Eastern Conference is the Boston Celtics. I think they should be the favored. I think they should be the favorite to get back to the NBA Finals like they were 2 years ago. I think that they are the most dangerous team in the NBA, let alone the Eastern Conference. But Tone, that's your boys in green. That's your favorite team. That's the team you represent. Who in the East do you fear the most and could give the Celtics a run for their money in the Eastern Conference?
Man, this may sound cocky, but I don't really fear anyone if I'm being honest, like 100% honest. You know, the Pistons without Cade, I don't fear that team. Um, the, the Miami Heat, they just yeah, I I wish I could
Yeah,
save them.
don't say our name. No, hell
I
no, we
understand
not in
that.
that conversation.
You guys are in the playoffs, not the play in, and so I just going through those teams. Um, who else we got? We got the Knicks. If I had to say a team, it'd either be the Knicks or honestly Charlotte. And the Knicks, they made the conference finals last year. They played a pretty good series, actually a really good series against Indiana, but they just haven't taken. To me, they haven't taken the necessary steps. They haven't looked better than they did last year. I think they just haven't. They've lost some crucial games to some mediocre teams, and coming down to the stretch, you have to win those games to build confidence. I don't know if they've added to their defensive depth. Um, Carl Anthony Towns has looked kind of suspect throughout the past month and a half. They've actually played better defense with him on the bench. They look like a better defensive team with Mitch Robinson on the floor. Um, I haven't seen a better Jalen Brunson. He's actually shooting the ball less efficiently. They talk. There's rumors that you're seeing on New York newspapers. Should we have never traded for Mikal Bridges? Like it's just tough for me to have the confidence in the New York Knicks, which I think would have should be the team that's being talked about like the Boston Celtics are right now. The team in the East who's been playing the best basketball besides the Celtics has been the Charlotte Hornets, and we beat them today pretty easily without Jalen Brown and Derek White. You know, and Jason Tatum had his best scoring game since he's been back, and so it's tough for me to have the confidence in those guys as well. But they've been playing phenomenal basketball. I just don't know if they're ready to play against a team like the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. And again, it might sound cocky, but I'm not afraid of anyone. I think we'd be upset, and I'd then be upset. But I'm not afraid. I don't see a team in the East that I really feel like, man, they might give us a run for our money. If Cade comes back in the next week or so, and he looks like Cade, then I might say the Pistons. But I haven't heard any rumors or haven't seen anything about him coming back anytime soon. Um, and yeah, shout out to JT, man, for the 30 point game. First one since he's been back. He's been back 10 games. We're 8-2. I love what
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
doing.
yeah, whatever.
All right. Well, enough said.
Yeah, Jason Tatum, whatever. That who cares? He's back. Life sucks.
I'm gonna have to take your green shirt back. Talking
See,
like
nah,
that.
there you go. I ain't got no green in my closet. Hey, I got pinched all over the place because I didn't wear no green on St. Patrick's Day. There ain't no green in my closet, brother. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of that in here. Um, Kyson, your boy James Harden is in the East now. He has an opportunity to do something special in the playoffs. But I think the Celtics are still the team to beat in the playoffs now that the Pacers are obviously one of the worst teams in the league and they were in the finals last year. Are they the biggest threat to the Celtics? Are the Knicks? You know, could they pose a legitimate threat to the Celtics? Who is the biggest threat to beat the Celtics in the Eastern Conference and prevent them from going to the NBA Finals?
Man, I think the East, man, I'm still on the hill of I think the East is a little bit more open than people are thinking. Um, I get the Celtics have looked great. Tatum has looked great coming back, But y'all mentioned something, rotations do shrink, uh, teams do change. I do see the Celtics going far, but they're gonna have some roadblocks. I think Detroit's still a good team, man. 10-3, 11-3. Their record without Cade. They've beaten good teams without him. They they are showing that Kate just wasn't. He was our guy, but he wasn't the system. Jalen Duren's been playing phenomenal without his boy, and they've looked good. Now I'm not saying they're going to go into the playoffs and look how they look without Cade, but the fact that they're staying afloat while waiting for Cade is something to see. I do think he may come back. Um, I'm on I'm on Tone's side though. I haven't seen anything regarding that, but I'm just going off faith. I really do hope he comes back. He's great for basketball. Um, the Pistons need him. But without him, I think they can go far. I mean, I'm looking at the bracket. Um, they can either go against first round. I think they'll go against either Miami, Charlotte, one of those play-in teams, and then I think they got that in the bag without Cade. So if you can get to the second round, you got either Cleveland or Toronto. If the playoffs started today, right? Um, to answer your question about Cleveland, I would love it. I would love if they can do it. But as we mentioned last time I was on the pod, Donovan Mitchell and James Harden are just don't show up in the playoffs, and that's something that you just can't ignore, right? So, I would like I said, the Cavs if they can, the Cavs have everything you need, in terms of offensive threats. They have defensive pieces as well, depth. It's just mental, like it's literally mental with them. And if that's the case, then the Celtics are going to always beat them in that because they've shown mental fortitude time and time again. That's one thing we can't ignore with the Celtics. But with all that being said, man, I think Detroit basketball, man, I think Detroit, with or without Cade, can pose a threat. Can they go to the finals without Cade? I don't think so. But I think they can stay afloat long enough. So, hey, Cade can come mid second round, maybe beginning of the second round, maybe catch Cleveland lacking or Toronto lacking and get to the conference finals without him. But I think that's definitely a possibility.
Low in the East, you got the Heat in the East, and they may not even be a play-in. They might sneak out of the play-in this year. Could they be a threat to the Celtics? Could the Raptors be a threat to the Celtics? Could the recently scorching hot Charlotte Hornets be a legitimate threat to the Celtics? Who do you think poses the biggest threat to the Celtics?
Yeah, I want to say the Pistons. I think Cade is coming back sooner than most people. I think he'll be back maybe mid-April, right before playoffs start, just so that he can find his groove. Because he's already been out a week or two, and he'll have a few more weeks to recover. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be ready come playoff time, and I think that they'll be just as scary as they were. Um, but there's actually one team who is actually currently in the play-in that I think is the biggest threat because two of their players have come back recently, and they have both looked really good, and that is the Sixers. Um, Joel Embiid, he has looked phenomenal in the games that he's been back in, and that knee doesn't look to be bothering him like it was earlier in the season. And then you look at Paul George, who came back and he dropped what 27 coming back, and he looked great. They both did. Joel Embiid had what 35 in that game, and then Paul George had 27, and I mean they look good. So now you're just missing the one key piece in Tyrese Maxey, and I think they're that piece away from potentially upsetting Boston in the first round
And
because
he even came
from
back
where.
yesterday, D'Lo, and looked good.
Mhm. Yeah. So from where you're at in the standings right now, they're only what one game, half a game back from the Hawks for the sixth seed. So that may not happen depending on how things shake out in the last couple of games. But if they stay in that play-in spot and then they end up facing Boston in the first round, that's going to be a good matchup. It really will be a good matchup because I don't think that there's a player on Boston that can stop Joel Embiid at all. Period. So I think it'd be interesting. Everyone wants to root for the Hornets so bad, but I don't. I just don't think that they will have enough come playoff time. I still think that the Magic are better than them, especially considering Paulo has looked like Paulo the last 15 games. And he's been playing some really good basketball. I know Kyson's shaking his head over there, but Paulo has been Paulo for the last 15 games, and
He
he's looked really good.
he had like 9 points
So
today. It was rough today.
it was rough today, but over the last 15 games of before this game, he's
Right.
looked really good.
Yeah.
And Paulo is he's a guy that I would consider not a playoff riser, but because we've seen him in one, but or two, but he can rise to the moment. We saw it against the Celtics, so I think come playing time he'll be fine. Yeah, those are my two though. I th- Listen, we talk about Miami runs the play in. I don't think that happens this year. I think unfortunately we lose in the play in this year.
Wow.
I
Breaking
don't see
news. We should.
I
need a
don't
breaking
see it.
news out here.
Hey, that's what the Cavs do though. Break your spirit.
Um. You know. You know.
Cavs
You
are
got.
getting first rounded.
You got.
Here we go.
You got.
The Raptors will spank them in 5.
I will say, you guys
Nah.
kind of convinced me that the East might be a little bit more open. That a lot of people may think it is. But you did not convince me enough. The biggest threat in the East to the Boston Celtics
Don't say
is
it.
the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics. And when I say the Boston Celtics, I mean health. It's the only threat. If that team is healthy in the playoffs, there's nobody beating them. And I'm pretty sure I just heard like a car accident or like a bird die out there as I said that. But sometimes I got to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Honesty is the best policy. The best team in the NBA, in my opinion, is the Boston Celtics. And I think if they're healthy in the playoffs, I don't think anybody in the NBA is going to beat them. I think they're gonna walk on water all the way to the NBA Finals and win it all again. Unfortunately, as much as that hurts my soul to say, but I got to keep it real. That's what we do on here on GSM. I got to keep it real, and I think that's what will happen as long as they stay healthy. Now, if they don't stay healthy, if Jason Tatum, if he starts to ache and hurt a little bit, if Jaylen Brown starts to ache and hurt a little bit, if Derek White starts to ache and hurt a little bit, although I don't think I've ever seen Derek White even limp before. If that team is healthy throughout the playoffs, there's nobody that's going to beat them. As much as that hurts me to say, there's nobody's going to beat them. That team is well-rounded. They're the best up and down in terms of the roster, I think. They have the best coach in the NBA in Joe Mazzulla. Yes, I did absolutely say that. They have the guy that's going to win Coach of the Year in Joe Mazzulla.
That's not what I was wide-eyed about, but all right.
Who? Well, what are you going to
You
say?
think they have the best up and down roster in the league?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is this is the first playoffs.
No.
Al Horford to save you from Joel Embiid.
That's a good point.
I think Cater plays way much better defense than Al Horford. But I understand what you're saying.
Experience everything.
But there's a lot. Yeah, that experience point, just the communication, the leadership. Kata is more physically appealing.
Put him in foul trouble. Beginning the game.
Oh,
Pumping.
I'm not afraid of having Garza getting minutes. I'm not afraid. Garza gonna bring Embiid out of the paint. You got to go guard him. He's shooting in there 40% from the three. And don't forget, we got Vujicic coming back in about a week.
Yeah. Again, I truly do believe that they have the best roster up and down in the NBA playoffs, and I think they have the best coach in the NBA.
I don't think so.
Nah.
I think we're forgetting that the Thunder can go 11 deep if they wanted to.
I think the Celtics can. I think it's
fun.
Fireman shooting the clip.
Here we go, y'all.
You got Hugo shooting the clip.
Just for fun.
Jordan Walsh.
We just said, bro, we playing 8. We're playing 8.
In the playoffs? The Celtics? You crazy. Nah, we're playing 10 or 11. I'm telling you, Joe Mazzulla's
Okay. I agree with Tone in terms of I think that they're 10 or 11 deep. I don't agree with Tone with him saying that they're going to go 10 or 11 deep in the playoffs. I think they can.
Especially I think they can. First and second round, depending on who we're playing, Joe's going to do that because he wants to keep.
Well, yeah, the first round, no doubt.
Yeah, so that's what that's
I'm talking about real the second round and down, like demons.
I still even then
you got New York series. You got New York second round, most likely.
I think if it's a close series, I don't think you go.
No, they'd be conference finals. They're on the other side of the bracket.
No, New York is third right now. Yeah, and
Oh, you're
Celtics are
right.
second.
I'm thinking Boston is
Unless
one
Celtics
seed.
can
Yeah.
You're right.
go on a run and get Detroit out of there, I don't. I mean, a lot can happen.
I, I,
4 games back
yeah, I think the Celtics are the best team in the league. I don't think
Joe
In the
anybody.
league?
for a
Yes,
reason.
in the league.
I think
In
they're
the
better than the
league?
Thunder. They just beat the Thunder the
Oh
other night.
no,
They did.
I again, I 100% believe that
man,
the
that was a
Celtics
scheduled
are better
loss.
than
Come on,
them.
let's not do that, man.
No, don't do that. They
That was a
played.
scheduled loss. Come on,
Come on, bro.
rest had
Guys,
that.
don't do
Playoff
that.
games. These are playoff games now. These games are playoff
For the Thunder, these are not playoff games.
They chilling.
against the Boston
They chilling.
Celtics.
In
I could probably get behind.
and they
They're
won.
chilling. They're trying to get Jada more accustomed to run rather than focusing on
That,
this is a
that's what I
playoff
was about to
game.
say. Chet
Yeah.
just came back too. Like they're just now getting into gear.
Jason
Fully
Tatum
healthy.
played 10 games. He had his career high scoring game against them. I'm not saying career high, but his season high against them, and then did it again against the hottest team in the East.
Yeah,
And listen, and
They
that's
weren't
cool
healthy.
and
They
all.
weren't all the way healthy.
Neither are the Boston Celtics. Derek White didn't play tonight, and neither
I'm
did
talking
Jalen.
about when y'all played the Thunder. I'm saying when y'all played the Thunder. I'm saying that was a scheduled loss. So I'm not really going too much based off that. The Thunder, they coast in the blowouts.
but
West or East, it don't matter.
They
again,
just they beat the Knicks by 11 tonight.
I
They
mean, when
look
they're
like
healthy,
Chilling.
but when the
What?
Celtics are healthy, they have two top 7 players in the NBA. They have one of the best defenders in the league. Again, I keep mentioning them. They have the best coach in the league, and coaching matters.
yeah, probably back to back.
6 Men of the Year and Peyton Pritchard.
Which is more than some
Are we
people.
just acting like Mark is that far behind Joe Missoula, or
Nah.
He-
But Joe
he's
said
not that far.
this was a gap year. We won 50 games. This was a gap year.
No, there you go too. You were giving an inch and you taking a mile. This was not a gap year.
That's what people were calling it. The first 5 games of the
This was
season,
not.
people were calling it a Celtics gap year. This is not me saying it. This is ESPN.
But okay, but once they started winning games, it's not a gap year.
But I'm basing it off of what was said. The
Who-
first 5 games.
Who was saying it, Tone?
ESPN. This is
Who was on? Hey,
Jalen
listen,
Brown posted it today.
Stephen A. Smith may make a lot of money. Doesn't believe I agree with everything he says.
I'm not saying you, but that is the biggest network in sports.
Your expectations are now set.
Yeah, and when
Ain't no gap year.
we won 45 plus games, people were like, "Oh, we
That
did
was
not expect
expected.
it to happen," and we just won 50 games.
Anybody with ball knowledge, y'all was going 45 games. Let's keep it 100 with
I didn't-
JB.
No,
I don't
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so.
Then y'all,
I'm
gonna
that's
keep
on
it
y'all,
so
bro.
for
You're not
real.
about to reverse this.
I'm,
But
I'm,
on
I'm
y'all.
gonna keep it so for real. I thought they would be a
said the
playing
Suns
team.
were gonna win 36
Yep.
games, and I was wrong for that. Right? The
I don't
Celtics winning 45 games was realistic.
I don't think anyone thought that. If
That's
I
I
don't
could
think
probably Google
That's
it,
the
Dang it.
thing.
but I don't
That's-
think
I thought they were a 40.
So
40
now,
40
this
game.
is how much of a horse rider Jamal is. Now he's saying that's the best team in the league.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we
That's
got
insane turnaround.
we've
I
held-
can't go. That's what I'm
we've
saying. I
held
gotta stand my
most
ground.
teams
10
under
times.
100 points this season, and like he said, we have a depth that is probably second to the
The
champs.
Thunder are about to win 60 games. That's not going to be ignored.
They had most of their team except for
No,
Jay
they haven't been healthy all year.
and the Celtics have.
No, y'all haven't,
Alright.
right?
That's
Yeah,
my
you
point.
just said that. You just
My
said
point.
that.
I was-
And
I-
what's the records?
crossed
And what's their
over
records?
because
And
I-
what's their
because
records though?
what I
What's
wanted
their
to do with
records
this.
though? Both teams not healthy, and what's their records?
We
One's in the
didn't
hard
have
West,
our
one's in
leading
the easy
scorer.
East.
We didn't have our SGA though. That's the difference. Is that we had Jalen Brown who was down.
So what's Jalen Brown?
He never. This is the first year he's ever averaged.
What is he though?
Jason Tatum has been there.
Nah, I see y'all moving goalposts, y'all doing all this extra stuff. Man,
No,
let's
no,
just move
no.
on.
Facts. Those are the facts within.
No, I'll say
It's like-
right.
never averaged more points than Jason Tatum. SGA leads that team in points per game every year, right? Consistently.
The Thunder are a better team, point blank. I don't care what you say. That's the better team.
Is SGA and Chet or SGA and J-Dub, whatever duo you want to pick, better than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown?
Hold on. Don't answer that yet, because that's our next conversation. Don't answer that.
In the
Don't
league.
answer that yet. Don't answer that yet. But because that's gonna be our next conversation we talk about here in a minute or two.
Why are we asking different questions in a different segment? Like, I'm confused.
Is OKC 6 man better than Peyton Pritchard?
I'm asking.
Yes.
The Thunder are better than the Celtics.
Yes.
Alex Caruso?
No.
Who's the 6 man?
No, I'd take Case and Wallace over Peyton Pritchard.
Ouch, D-Lo.
I would.
I don't know about that one.
It's crazy coming from Tone because he likes the defensive guys. Case and Wallace gives you infinitely more.
That's what they got to do when they team in the plan, y'all.
Play defense.
Peyton Pritchard don't play
team in the plan. This is what you got to do. You got to jump to other agendas. You know.
No. Don't play. Hold on. Are you talking about me?
This you got to do.
Hold on. No. I'm being honest. I'm being honest on what I see. I'm not saying this because I want to root for another team. I'm saying this because this is my true. Like, again, I will be the first one to tell you, and I love admitting when I'm wrong. I was wrong about the Celtics. I thought the Celtics were going to be a play-in team this year. I thought the Celtics were going to win 42, 43 games at most.
I definitely didn't.
And listen, that's the thing. I 100% thought that they were going to be a play-in team. I could not have been more wrong about Jaylen Brown and company. And because of that, and because of the leap that Jaylen Brown has taken this year, this is the best Jaylen Brown we've ever seen. This is the best Jaylen Brown he's ever played. And because of that, I truly believe now that they have Jason Tatum back, again, another guy that's a top 5 player in the league when he's healthy. Now that they have that guy back and they have Derek White, who's a defensive player of the year candidate every single year, and you have Joe Mazzulla and you have a 6 man of the year, I truly believe that they are the best team in the NBA, not only because of the experience that they have, but the talent and the skill level that they bring with them. I'm not just saying that because my team is in the play-in. I'm saying that because that is what I truly believe, and that's what I've watched and that's what I've seen over the entire season. And again, it's not like I don't like the Celtics. I don't. But I'm also my goal on this show is to give you, just like all of us, is to give everybody that's watching our opinion.
Well, guess what, Jamal? You're wrong. They ain't better than the Thunder. Point blank. Let's just move on. What's your next topic?
Hey, listen. No, it is time to move on. But
last week proved differently. I'll just say that. About 6 days ago proved differently because those two teams faced one another, and one of them won, one of them lost.
They did.
Well, that team wasn't fully healthy.
They both had every player that is on their roster playing.
No, the Celtics didn't have Vooch.
Oh, my bad. Oh, sorry. I mean, we didn't have our number 3, and we won.
But again, there's considerations that we got to take into account. Like J-Dub is just coming back from an extended series.
Jason Tatum.
Games.
Jason Tatum had already played 9 games to that point. What? Not 8-9 games.
After an Achilles injury.
Hold on.
Hey, about regular season.
Injury is injury.
Hold on.
Why does that matter?
About regular season.
Is 9 games more or less the amount of games that Jalen Williams has played this year?
It might be. He hasn't played a whole lot.
No. You know the correct answer to that question. You know the correct. I see the smile on your face. You know the correct answer to that.
It hasn't been a whole lot.
What? Yeah, is 9 games more or less games than Jalen Williams has played this year?
Less.
It's less. So they're both building off of an injury that they're coming off of. Yet they both played. And again, I'm not saying because the Celtics beat the Thunder, that's what makes them the best team in the league. Because even if the Thunder beat the Celtics, I would still call the Celtics the best team in the league going into the playoffs. Because again, I've seen them do it before. And I saw the Thunder do it. But again, I don't know if that Thunder team last year beats the 2024 Boston Celtics.
Man had 22 points tonight against the New York Knicks. He can't be that hurt. He can't be. I don't think it's that significant. He's an NBA basketball player who's been playing, practicing. He's back. J-Dub is back. He wouldn't be playing if he wasn't back.
All right, that was a great.
He's coming back from a hamstring, dog.
We
want to talk about hamstrings.
Achilles.
Jalen Green has been dealing with it all year. Maul can vouch for it.
He
And
absolutely has.
J-Dub
But
got
a
on the
hamstring
court.
is not an
Matter of fact,
Achilles.
hold on. Look, Maul, what you say when you get on the court between them lines?
It
What?
don't matter. You healthy.
Oh,
It don't matter. You healthy.
Just like we
Jason,
started the pod off. You're here, and yeah, look at the
when
stuff that
Jason
you
Tatum hurt
caused.
his, when Jason Tatum hurt his foot against the Miami Heat and they lost, right? Was you like this Heat win don't count because Jason Tatum's hurt?
What are you talking about?
When Jason Tatum hurt his foot, he rolled his ankle on Jimmy Butler's foot in the playoffs, and
Hmm.
y'all won. Did you say
Hmm.
that win didn't count because Jason Tatum had an injury?
He played the first half.
He hurt his ankle in
He
the
was on the
first
court.
minutes of the
He's on the
game.
court.
Was he on the court?
Thank you.
That's his argument. That's his argument.
And it's a great argument,
Proving my point.
and it's a fantastic argument. But is there not an asterisk to it?
No,
No.
you
No.
just said he was on the court. Why would it be?
Just like the Knicks beat the Celtics last year after Jason Tatum went out, just like the Raptors beat the Warriors when KD tore his Achilles.
OKC won the championship after Halliburton had 15 points in the first quarter.
The first quarter, and we're up, and we're
And
leading. All right, let's move on. We got to move on to the. We got a few more
Stipulations.
conversations, huh?
Crazy. Huh?
We got
Peyton
to.
Pritchard is not all that. That's what I said.
Goodness
20 points.
gracious.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. That's a great
Peyton Pritchard's
conversation.
bad.
And as we get closer to the playoffs, these conversations will only continue to escalate. So, okay. Next conversation, staying in the league, boys. And the reason why I wanted to not get into that duo conversation is because we're going to have that conversation right now. When you look at some of these duos in the league, Kyson, you look at Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. You look at SGA and Jalen Williams and or Chet Holmgren, whoever you want to put in that conversation. You look at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, Kevin Durant and Alperen Şengün. When you look at these duos in the league, which one stands out to you the most as the best duo in the league?
Man, I'm looking at Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks for real. Honestly, like when I'm two on the court, like they make magic happen.
Man.
What?
Like, for real.
Why does everybody attempt to hurt my feelings? Why does everybody want to hurt me?
I'm going Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker. The Suns have looked bad without Dylan Brooks. Am I wrong?
Wait, are you being serious?
I'm being dead serious.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
Well, I take it
Ain't
back.
nobody worried about you. Ain't nobody trying to hurt your feelings. It's your show.
My bad.
Why would I
My
try to
bad.
do that? Anywho, as far as rudely interrupted,
I'm sorry.
golly.
I'm sorry.
Dylan
Continue.
Brooks and Devin Booker. Devin Booker finally got his defender right next to him. Right? Never really. The only time he had that was with Mikal Bridges. What happened when he had that? NBA Finals. Now the difference between that, he had Chris Paul. He don't got a Chris Paul this time. He got Jalen Green. Yeah. You know, 29 one night.
My feelings,
14 the
my
next.
feelings as well.
You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. He got his Dylan Brooks. He was aggressive offensively. He's averaging like 20 this year. Crazy. And locks up. Hey, I got him, D. Don't worry about it. Who we got to guard? I got him. I got SGA. I got Katie. I got Ant. You got Ant? All right. I got McDaniels. That's all he need, and that's the Suns have been successful, but they've been looking rough without his boy. So I'm gonna go to DB boys. Keep it in the
All right.
city.
All right. Well, I don't care what either of you others. I think that's the only correct answer. I don't care what D'Lo or Tone has to say. In fact, I think we can close out the show on that one. No, okay. No, I think that's a great point. I don't think Devin Booker has had a defender like Dylan Brooks to play alongside with. But since we know what Tone's answer is going to be, we'll let Tone finish off the conversation.
Hey,
D'Lo,
yo.
that the conversation that wasn't don't. See, there you go. D'Lo, when you look at the duos in the NBA and you look at the top tier duos, again, I mentioned a few of them, SGA and Chet, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant and Alperen Şengün, Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks, Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. Which one it stands out to you the most, and would you say is the best duo in the NBA?
Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. I mean, we talk about impact. I mean, when both of them are on the floor, the net rating is absolutely insane. They pick and roll very well. They both are good playmakers. One is obviously, really, really elite at that, but Jamal Murray is a very underrated playmaker. And they can both score the balls, will. So, I
All
so,
right. Okay.
so they can both score the
2026.
ball, will. So, I mean, when you look at it, it's hard. It's hard not to say that they shouldn't be up there. Mm,
Jamal,
That's
who do
my
you think
answer.
is the best duo? And you can't agree with Tone.
I mean, again,
Come on, you got the right to your own opinion, brother. Don't let that man
On God.
tell you.
No, you're right. He has a right to his own opinion.
Yeah,
but
Maul.
I'm not
What's
saying
your
this,
opinion?
huh?
What's your opinion?
Now, what's your
Mine?
opinion? How do you
Yes.
feel?
How do you
Not
feel?
feel.
I'm
Like
not saying
feel.
this. I'm not saying this to get on Tone's good side or whatever. I'm saying this because this is truly my opinion. The best duo in the NBA is Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Deuces.
Yeah,
I
man.
gotta get off here, bro.
Okay, again, I
Let's
don't.
wrap
gotta
it
get
up,
off here.
dog.
I gotta get
What?
off here, bro.
I why I'm truly giving my opinion.
Bro,
Again, I'm not saying
all the
this.
all the duos in the league, and you just gotta agree with your boy, right?
All the
No,
That's what
duos
we
in the
doing.
league, and
Tony,
we're
your
how
birthday
many?
picking.
coming up.
How many?
What,
Okay,
what did,
no. How many
what did he
times?
say?
Honestly,
Jason
When your
Tatum's
birthday,
played
Tony?
10 games. After 10 games, you're ready to call them the best duo
how,
again?
how many? Okay, how many times have Tone and
Tony, when
I
your
gone
birthday?
back and forth? How
I
many
mean, we
times have
ate
Tone
it.
and I cussed each other out?
We 8-2 since he's come back. It's
Tony,
not
when your
like
birthday?
playing. And again, JT is he getting it rolling. I think I'm gonna let Maul finish before I go on my rant.
Tone, when is your birthday? I'm being serious.
In June. It's right around the championship ending. Parade time.
See that
Right
here.
around parade time.
Hey,
You
but hey,
talking like June 2nd?
don't get it twisted. If them boys in green lose, I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna be wrong, and I'm gonna be happy about it.
And listen, I hope it's to Miami. Let me tell you,
Listen,
because
and I'll come here, and I'll come out here dancing. And hey, D-Lo, if you got a Tyler Hero jersey, I'll wear it. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
got
listen,
one.
yeah,
Oh, I got
yeah.
one. I'll
Hey,
let you wear it right now.
yeah, come on. Again,
Man, these are
I'm
the worst people because it doesn't matter what happens. It don't to him. Team win or lose, he don't care. Them are the worst. Hey, I think
what is
this team's the
happening?
best. That team lose. Damn, that team lost. Y'all suck. Damn. He don't care if he wrong. He don't care if he right. He don't
But
care if he
it's
wins. He don't care if
because
he
he
lose.
was in a whole nother
Damn. Is
he had
in a whole
Knicks.
different realm.
He had Knicks.
Trash.
His team is
Realm.
the conference. So
Whole
what
nother realm.
is he supposed
Boys
to have?
not in these conversations. That's why you gotta do what you gotta do.
Boston, Cleveland, Milwaukee, like what? That's gonna be his energy. I imagine if Milwaukee, Boston's plays and they lost, he'd be calling Jesse immediately. 5 seconds left on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Like
The worst.
the hater Marlins.
Ooh, the worst.
Okay, but
Cardinals
again,
lose. I got Patrick Mahomes.
hold on. Do we not? Tyson, you're rooting for the
The Super
Cavaliers
Bowl
because
team.
James Harden is your favorite player.
Not seriously. Come on, man. Are we being serious? I don't care if the Cavs can be first round exits. The Houston Rockets. That's gonna really hurt when they really are first round exits because they are.
They-
That's
huh?
obvious. That's obvious.
If they play
And
the
that's my
Lakers,
team.
It's not like
if they play the Lakers,
Nah, it's not too many teams, bro. I'm not. That offense is just. Bleh.
and that's cool and
Like
all,
you
but they got Austin Reeves over there. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn. Hey, I hope we don't get the Lakers because if we lose to the Lakers first round, y'all ain't see me on no pie. I'm gonna be
but again,
and
Look,
let me
on the
just
serious
say
note, I don't
this,
root for. I troll with the Cavs. James Harden win the ring, great.
and let me
But
just say this because I know Kev is in the
I'm a
chat. The
Rockets
Cavs
fan.
suck.
all right.
They're getting first
Where
rounded
my head
by the
at? Hold on.
Raptors.
Go get my head.
Okay. I will say though, to reignite this conversation, I guess to defend myself to an extent. I am a Suns fan.
You
I am a
lucky.
Cardinals fan.
Not even
Yes.
here.
If the Cardinals and Chiefs played in the Super Bowl, I would have all of my Cardinals gear on.
No,
I would
you
have
wouldn't.
I would. What do we? Okay.
He'd be secretly wearing his Patrick Mahomes tidy
Under.
whities
No,
underneath.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't be.
British street
he
football
would.
No, I wouldn't be. I would again. Okay, maybe I'm trolling. Like maybe I'm having a little bit too much fun. But again, I am a Cardinals fan. I am a Suns fan. I am an Arizona Diamondbacks fan first and foremost. If Giannis was my favorite player when the Bucks beat the Suns, I cried when the Suns lost the finals. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. If they played the Cardinals in the Super Bowl, I would be rooting for the Arizona Cardinals. If the Suns played the Knicks in the NBA Finals, you would see me.
Rewind this real quick. So hold on. Devin Booker was in the NBA, and Giannis was your favorite player.
Okay, outside of Devin Booker.
Oh, okay.
Outside of Devin Booker.
Yeah,
like he's outside of the Suns. Outside of the Suns, Giannis.
Yeah, you can't have another favorite player when Jamal is rubbing that man's feet. Come on,
Duh.
man.
Well, somebody's got to
Are
do
you
it.
dumb?
Somebody's got to do it. You know what I mean? So
Devin Booker, even though Devin Booker was first team All NBA, nah, Giannis.
No, never. Devin Booker has been my favorite player. But okay, anyways, I'm Arizona. Those are my teams. Anyways, since my integrity is being questioned. No, but the whole reason why this conversation started up is because I do believe that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the best duo in the league. And I think not too far behind them is Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. But I think two guys that can be top 5 in MVP voting in any given year, and two guys who can both average 30 and lock up your best player, it's hard for me to go against that. It really is. I mean, for God's sake, Jason Tatum was their best player in 2024, and Jaylen Brown won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP and the Finals MVP. And yet, Jason Tatum again was their best basketball player. And you have a number 2 that's that good. It's hard for me to go against that. It really is. It really is. And again, the biggest reason why I say that, I don't think Jamal Murray could take a Finals MVP away from Nikola Jokic. I don't think Jalen Williams could take a Finals MVP away from SGA. The only person that could do that from their best player is Jaylen Brown in the league. And for that reason, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the best duo in the NBA. Tone, why are Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown the best duo in the NBA?
Literally seen Jamal Murray go on a 7-game series where he averaged like 48, but we're saying he couldn't do that.
He didn't average 48, but
what do I know?
Nothing.
When's the last time he did that?
Bubble?
Yeah, it was a little while ago. But
He also won a ring not too many years ago.
Yeah, but since then, who's been the better duo? You know who has the most playoff points and since they've been in the league? Out of those duos?
Murray and Jokic.
You know who has the most playoff wins since they've been in the league?
Murray and Jokic.
Well, again, brother.
In his defense, they did win a chip first.
Yeah, but we talking about the latest, right?
Just because they did it first doesn't mean it made it better.
They won a chip first.
We talking
Just
about
y'all all about ring culture. Y'all
yeah, I'm
all
about to say,
that.
how does that strengthen the argument?
No, they're all about that.
That means that was many years ago, correct?
That was a year before y'all.
Listen, all I'm saying is that the
Before
Celtics lost
y'all.
to the Heat, and then the Nuggets beat them. So, well, what does it tell you?
I would have smacked y'all up too, if y'all would have made it.
Would have smacked them.
I don't know about
barbecue chicken.
The Nuggets probably still would have won. But
After Jason Tatum collapsed his entire ligament in his ankle, you're telling me they would have beat the Nuggets?
No, that's what I'm just saying. I don't think they would have beat them, but I don't think they would have got smacked.
They would have got the same.
No,
whooping. They would have got the same belt. Oh,
they would have put up a much better fight.
And you take that back because you know you're lying.
The Celtics would have put up a much better fight.
Jimmy Butler was coming off one of his best series ever.
Jason Brown been better.
Then who?
No.
Jason Tatum.
Oh, come on.
For some years
I
now.
think I got to go after that one.
For some years. Finals
Well,
MVP. Let me hold
oh, I
that.
gotta go after
Eastern
that one.
Conference. Eastern Conference. Let me hold that.
Hey, I have no reason to argue that one is better than the other. I don't really care. They both play for the green
Well,
team.
that's my opinion. I just feel like
Yeah,
JB just
that's why I said
been
I have
snatched
no
that.
reason.
Been snatched that.
It's your opinion.
And from now on,
It
from now
helps
on,
both ways. Pause.
it's always like that's and it's in our nature as dark skins to like the light skin. Like, do your thing, little bro. Go ahead. I'm be here when you need me. You feel me? Just do you. Oh, you feel? I got you, bro.
See, here's
Hey,
the
it's my
thing: is
we tried your way. It's my turn now. We
I
tried your
feel
way.
like that argument has come up in the media because of offense, to where Jalen Brown understands that he plays both sides of the basketball in a different fashion than Jason Tatum does. I also think he understands that Jason Tatum is likely the better playmaker. So he can have the basketball in his hands more often than Jalen Brown does. But Jalen Brown is much more physical and attacking the basket, and he finishes better at the rim. And so to me, it's a yin and yang type of situation. And Jalen Brown has the wherewithal to understand that they need each other the same way Jason Tatum does. That light skin, dark skin thing, I don't really think it matters to them, but as the media, they play in a role of one. Jalen Brown isn't liked because he's against the grain. He's an against the grain type of player, type of man. He doesn't like Nike. What happened to him in the Olympics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he's got these type of uh, uh, non-media friendly situations that put him in the backlight, not in the forefront. But I think that he's a smart enough player to understand that there's a bigger picture, and he needs Jason Tatum if he wants to win an NBA championship. But back to the situation at hand that we're having here. When I think about Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown together versus, I do think that Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are the 1A 1B in this conversation. I'd say this, that I don't think that if Nikola Jokic went down, Jamal Murray would have been able to carry the Denver Nuggets to the same level that Jalen Brown did with the Boston Celtics. And
Bingo.
there's a major reason to that, and that's because Jalen Brown plays both sides of the basketball in a fashion that we haven't seen since, I don't even know, from the guard small forward position. Like, the only other person I could probably say is AE, but AE hasn't been talked about in that circle since a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. He just hasn't played that caliber defense. And so Jalen Brown is doing something that Jamal Murray doesn't. And then even when you look at Jason Tatum, he plays better defense than Jamal Murray and and Jokic. And so I definitely think that duo is up there offensively, and we've seen them in playoff stints. But again, since Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown have come in the NBA, there's no other duo has scored more points and won more games.
Yeah. Listen. I think it's close, but so to your point, I don't think Jamal Murray would be able to do without Jokic that Jalen Brown is doing without Jason Tatum. And on both sides of the ball, I mean, Jalen Brown is an elite
We act like
defender.
Jamal Murray hasn't played his best basketball this season when Jokic was out. Like, what are we talking
But
about?
Jokic didn't miss 50 some
And
odd
they were
games.
winning games.
Jokic didn't
They
miss
were
50 some odd
winning
games.
Jalen Brown
games.
is a Finals MVP. Stop playing with him like he trash.
That's the
Who's calling
point.
it trash? That's the
That's the
whole
point of this
point.
Yeah,
argument.
he like that. Way better than JT.
How
That's
many
why it was nothing. We
how
don't
many
need you up,
finals
bro.
MVP? So
It's
okay, then.
nothing.
So with that
Now
being
you
said,
back.
you
Now you
defeat
just
your
getting
own
to
argument.
the fold. You just get into my program. So I hit these little shots. Hey, I'm out tonight. Handle that. What happened? He handled that. All right, when I'm back, I'm gonna need my 30. All right, you go get your 22, 23. I'm gonna need my 30 though. All right, that's how it is now. So stop playing with him like he's way beneath JT. No, or on the same level. He's above him. That's why he was able to go 50 odd games without him. He a dog.
But again,
Stop playing with him.
that's the point
I'm
we're
off
trying to
this
make.
duo-ish. I'm just saying, as players, JB is that boy. Stop
He
playing with
is.
him. He's first team on NBA, all that.
He will be. He's
Like,
top five in
stop,
MVP
stop,
voting.
stop trying to disqualify him because JT's back. Oh, now we gotta minimize him to make JT look good. No, just admit it. JB is the guy right now. It's okay. Yes. All right. Fuck. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Yes. Best duo in the league. Got it. JB though, 1A, JT 1B. Just for right now. Next season, when they get a fresh start, it might be different. But for right now,
I
that's
agree
just
with
how I
that.
view it. That's
I
just how I
agree.
view
I
it.
agree with that point. I for sure agree with that. With that point.
But y'all can't use that in y'all argument though. Like he went 50 odd games without him. Yeah.
It would be
Nothing.
the same conversation if Jason Tatum won 50 games without Jalen Brown.
Has he done it? Has he done it though?
We don't want him to. We don't want Jalen Brown to be hurt. I don't
Well,
understand
duh.
like
I
how
don't
that.
want him to be. I didn't want Tatum to be hurt,
So
but it's
while
life. It happens. And what
Jason
happened is
Jason
Jalen Brown has done it.
is a
Tatum
leading
hasn't. So
scorer,
who's better?
he has been throughout their tenure. This is Jason Tatum came in the league a year after Jalen Brown, a year after. And since Jason Tatum has been in the NBA, he leads the league in playoff points. He's also led the Boston Celtics to records that Jalen Brown hasn't yet
You
accomplished.
just said this. I heard you. I
So,
heard you.
with all that being said, Jason Tatum is looking like the head of the snake. I'm not
Not right
saying that
now.
I care. I personally don't care who
All right,
people
so let's move on.
because you want to keep bringing it up. I just said that I don't
I'm
have.
done. So what are we talking about? You reiterating what you already said.
And
Yeah,
Literally.
it sounds like you guys are just proving each other's points.
no,
Well,
he's
I already said. I
he's
First
proven.
of all, when I seen this on the show sheet, I'm like, come on, are we serious? Honestly,
I mean, there could be a set argument for the same way I chose my team. I don't even know who the best duo is on OKC. Is it Jalen Williams and Chet? I mean Chet, yeah, or Chet to match up with Shea. Last year, and I started to say this in Maul's intro, I specifically remember a text in the chat is Jalen Williams going to steal Shea's Finals MVP? J Dub was playing that well. There were a number of games to where he had more points than Shea, and he was more efficient than Shea, and he also plays better defense than Shea. And so when you add that combination, until the last game, which Shea just went, he kind of took over, there was a said argument. I always thought that Chet was the number two, but J Dub came out in that finals as the number two. I still don't know who the number two is, especially with J Dub missing so many games this season and them having so much success. But I can that be the best duo or the best trio? I don't know.
And with that, that will end our conversation on the best duo in the NBA. So again, I don't know. I liked the conversation. I thought it was fun and entertaining. But okay, we talked about this last week. D'Lo, you and I talked about this last week. We weren't able to get Kyson and Tone's opinion on this, but the NBA voted on expansion this summer. They're going to vote, or I believe the vote was passed, and there will be a bid on the both Seattle and Las Vegas teams in the summer to see who owns them and for them to become official NBA franchises. Seattle once again, and for Las Vegas the first time. Kyson, I'm very intrigued to hear your opinion on this because we haven't got to hear your opinion on this yet. Do you believe it's a good idea that the NBA is expanding to not only Las Vegas but bringing an NBA franchise back to Seattle as well?
I think it's a good idea to bring a team to Seattle. I think it's a good team, even to bring a team to Las Vegas, but to add two more teams to this league, I'm just not. I'm on the fence with it because of the tanking situation. It's just out of control, man. Prime example: last night, the Chicago Bulls and the Grizzlies. Great game, give or take. It was a high scoring game, 125, 124. Memphis is inbounding the ball, throws it right over Gigi Jackson's head. Trey Jones of Chicago Bulls gets the ball, steals it. 3 seconds, 3, 2, 1. He passes it instead of shooting the ball. So He was about to do a layup, and then he passed it out right at the final second, and someone shot it, but it was too late. Now that could be either a lapse of focus. Chicago Bulls are not that good of a team. Memphis is not that good of a team, or we could just be having a fashion old tank off. I'm trying to lose. No, I'm trying to lose. No, I'm trying to lose, and it's frustrating, right? Bam Adebayo just gave the Wizards 83, and he was feeling it. He's he's like he just came into it rolling, and they couldn't do anything. Anything. They fouled him, quadruple teamed him. They couldn't do anything to stop him. And he's not even a dominant player when it comes to scoring, right? I just think the tank situation is just out of control, man. Like these teams are blatantly losing. We got teams sitting out their entire first starting lineup in fourth quarters in competitive games. We've got uh teams literally being investigated for if a player's actually injured. And now we're gonna add two more teams into this. And those teams are not gonna be good. They're just not. Now uh, let's say Memphis gives up on Ja or Suns give up on Jalen Green for nothing. I mean, how likely is that to happen? Very unlikely. These teams are not gonna be good. I'm speaking on the game sense. I just don't think it would be good for the game. I don't think there's enough talent that's competitive enough in the league to add those two teams. With that being said, for the fans, I, for the fans' perspective, Seattle deserves a team, 100%. That fan base got stripped of a team. They didn't do anything wrong,
Yep.
and there was nothing they can do. So they deserve a team 100%. But let's take two teams out instead, and then add these two teams. So this can stay to 30 because 32 teams in this. Maybe y'all can change my mind. I don't know. Y'all enlighten me, man. There's a ton of talent. Let's not negate that. The NBA is fully loaded with talent. But how many teams? It's like you can name 8 teams going into the season. They're already going into that season off season. We're tanking off
Yeah.
the bat. We're tanking for next season. The Nets, they had 5. They had 4 or 5 first round picks. Where are they? They were the worst team in the league, second worst team in the league, right? So, like I said, y'all can enlighten me. Y'all can maybe help me out and paint a brighter picture for me. But I have to be on the short end of the stick and say I don't think this is a good idea for right now.
Tone, what do you think? Obviously, I'm sure you remember when Seattle got their team taken away and how much that hurt that city, that franchise, and that state really of Washington. Now they're getting an opportunity to get their NBA franchise back. Las Vegas, again, one of the most popular cities in the world, is getting an NBA franchise. Is it a good idea for the NBA to expand from 30 to 32 teams now, with bringing teams to both Seattle and Las Vegas?
And we spoke on this briefly last pod, and I said, yeah, I do think it's great for the NBA. I do personally believe that there's a lot of talent that we don't get to see. I do agree with some of what Kyson said. That it's sad when there's a tank off, but I think that is also dope when you get to see players like Michael Porter Jr. He was on the Denver Nuggets for the past what 6 7 seasons,
Yeah.
and coming out of college, we knew that he was a bucket. Like we all knew that. And the injury, we were like, dang, is he gonna get? Were we gonna get to see the best version of Michael Porter Jr.? And we never knew. But now we're getting to see it. He's on the Brooklyn Nets, and that boy is a walking bucket. He's had some amazing games. Now he does have to get back healthy, but I think there's several players throughout the NBA that if they get a chance to be the main guy on the team, they might not win a championship, but there's still talent, and like we get to see players, like how many championships Jamal Crawford got?
Zilch.
How many championships my goat got? Allen Iverson, my goat.
Cero.
But I appreciated every game I got to watch of that dude. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's some other guys within the NBA that players fans would love to see be a 1A or just a one, whatever you want to call it, on a team. They want to see those guys get a chance, and this opens up the doors for certain players to get seen in different lights. Man, I mean, I know we were just talking about it, and y'all probably gonna hate me for bringing it up, but we haven't seen this version of Jaylen Brown because those guys have been paired up. And without Jason Tatum, we got to see a version of Jaylen Brown that we hadn't seen. And so if you take, if you separate those guys, we're gonna see different versions of both of them. And I just think that this opens up the door for some guy on a team who's sixth man, maybe eighth man on a team to go there and be the fourth man or third man and be like, oh yeah, this is my time to be a walking bucket. Show that I can lock somebody else up because I'm getting more valuable minutes. I like to speak about my guys because I watch us more than I watch any other organization. But I think about a Jordan Walsh. Jordan Walsh to me has a lot of potential, and I would hope that we kept him. But I could see him on another team doing a lot of work, getting a lot of valuable minutes. And I think that it's going to be exciting, man. I mean, it's just more basketball for me to watch, so that's all, something I'm appreciate.
Lo, how do you feel about the NBA expansion? And I'm not sure when these teams. I think 2029. I think was when these two teams would actually become a part of the NBA. But how do you feel about two more teams being brought into the NBA? One being brought back in Seattle, and one being brand new in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I kind of see it from Kyson's point, but I'm glad you brought it up, Maul, because I was going to bring that up. These teams won't see the league until, I think you said 2029. I've seen 2028 or 2029. And when you look at it from that perspective, the league is already trying, like they're having meetings about anti-tanking. So I feel like those will be in effect by the time that these teams join the league. And I think the real question is just how effective are those strategies going to be at negating tanking, right? Because I don't know if there's a one size fits all when it comes to this problem. So when you look at it from that perspective, I see the argument both ways, but whether good or bad for the league itself, when you look at it from an owner perspective, this is a money move. You bring in two more teams to the NBA, you're generating more revenue, you're getting more views because everyone wants to watch the new teams, and there it is, right? That this is a money move. You don't need two new NBA teams, but you sure want them, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really see the problem either way, but I think that this, from a fan perspective, should not be what you're trying to look after. I think there are other bigger priorities in the NBA that need to be addressed first before you consider adding, the shiny piece, right? You got to pay your rent, you got to pay your utilities before you go out and you buy a meal, right?
Yep.
And so from that perspective, they need to address tanking. I think another big thing fans are, worried about is the 65 game rule. You've seen it everywhere. Even the Players Association is petitioning for Cade to get an award because of the freak injury that happened. Like that doesn't happen, right? I think they need to address some of those things and make better changes on that perspective. You talk about the All-Star game. When is that going to get fixed? Right? The dunk contest, the things that are already here that need fixing. Those need to be addressed first before you even look at expansion. And so I don't know. I see both ways. I see the arguments for both. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Like I said, I love Supersonics. I love that they're going to put another team there. Thank God, because that fan base deserves it. Vegas,
Yep.
still don't know why they're going there. Still don't know why.
It's gonna be
Well,
money,
I know
It'll be
why,
a
but
disaster.
I know why.
but it's worrisome because I mean you look at the Raiders and there's a lot shorter leash on in the NFL than there is in the NBA. And NBA players have a lot more time on their hands than NFL players do. And so the thing that worries me, you get in Vegas, you live in Vegas, Oh, let's go out to the casino.
I can only
Let's go
imagine
out.
what that sideline's gonna look like, boy.
Oh man. Oh
Woo-wee.
man. Oh man. That's gonna be a problem, boy. That's gonna be a problem, boy. Yeah, real quick, Kevin's in the comments. I think this is a good conversation. What teams would go from the west to the east? I mean,
Minnesota.
Memphis,
Minnesota,
Memphis,
Memphis could be another one. The Pelicans could be
Minnesota.
another one.
Memphis is hours away from Atlanta, like right there.
Yeah, and they're
It's
already
literally in the
way
East
east.
Coast.
They're already
I
way
can
east.
see Minnesota too, though, because they
Yeah.
literally all their
Minnesota's
opponents.
like right next to Milwaukee.
Everyone
Yeah.
says Minnesota will likely be the team, and I think if you can keep Ant, it makes the East just a little bit more exciting.
Yeah. Honestly, I think those would be the two teams that would be most likely to go to the East. It'd be Minnesota and Memphis. So, but on that note,
Oh, real
boys,
quick, real quick.
uh-huh.
The 65 game rule. I think I'm like with it. I think I like it because ain't no way you about to play 50 games and get an MVP. No,
Yeah.
but I think it should be lowered to like 60, 62, and there should definitely have a stipulation on freak injuries. Like if like K, he played what? K can play what 60 games just about. Like that's come on, that's enough. Like he
Yeah.
proved he's got literally Detroit in a great spot without him because of his play. Like that's like for example, let's say if Shaq played 60 games and got hurt, it's Shaq. Like the man, like y'all saw what he did. Like, so I don't know. That's my opinion on that. I just had to
Yeah.
say that
I
real quick.
completely agree until I heard Kevin Garnett speak on it, and he's like, "These dudes don't even play as physical as we did back in the day," and he can count about so many dudes that had big injuries, and then they were disqualified from conversations. And he's like, "So how am I going to take?" And he's like, "I appreciate what Cade did, but how am I going to change that rule now when I've already watched dudes who went through the trenches to play them 65 games?" And he was like, "Yo, Paul Pierce got stabbed up and then played 82 games."
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Kaiser's point of view here. I do think the rule should stand, but I think it should be lowered to somewhere between 55 and 60. Because I really do. I haven't looked at it like that. I really do appreciate your point in terms of like just appreciating the guys who did fight and claw and do whatever they could to get to the 65 game mark. Um, but for guys like Cade, man, you got to feel for him. You know what I mean? I mean, this is just a freak injury. How many? I mean, I can count on one hand how many times I've heard of this injury in any sport. Um, so it's just one of those things. You could go
I
either
say
way.
that, but the game is also different now than it was then.
Yeah, it was.
The
Well,
little injuries are a lot more frequent just based on how the game is played now.
They don't
fast.
train
A
enough.
lot more fast
No.
paced, and when you think about it, ankle sprains are a given.
Yep.
We've seen a lot more of the non-contact ACL and Achilles. We've seen a lot more of it just because the game is more explosive than it was back then.
And
Athletes are getting better.
I also, I mean, I think another part of this. Sorry, real quick. Another part of this is the preparation before the season. I mean, we talk about it a lot in the NFL. Oh, well, you see all these guys getting hurt in the NFL is because in training camp you're not getting your body physically ready to go out and face what they're going to face in the regular season. And you're not tackling the way you're tackling in the regular season, and then in training camp, you're not preparing your body in the proper way that's going to go through in the regular season. So maybe that's why you see a lot of different soft tissue injuries and a lot of different injuries. And I think it could be the same conversation in the NBA. Maybe these coaches, these staff members are not putting their players through the requisite training in order to get them ready for the regular season, so their body is calloused enough to face all these different types of contact and things that they're going to go through. So I don't know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's something else, but I do feel for Cade though at the end of the day. All right, boys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Also, another announcement. I'm sure you guys have noticed that today is Sunday. Today's not Tuesday or Friday. And because of that, we will be changing our podcast schedule. So we will be going Sunday nights now and Thursday nights. Sundays and Thursdays we will be going live on the show on the podcast. So just put that in your calendars, set your alarms, tell your dogs to bark, tell the chickens to cuckoo, or I don't know what chickens make,
Yeah,
but
if you do late night church, you got to start going in the mornings.
it's not. I gotta start going in the morning. It's not. It's non-negotiable. You go in the morning and you watch Gumball Sports Machine, and you watch us yell at each other and cuss at each other and call each other names for 2 hours. So that's how you start your week off or end your week, depending on how you eat your Reese's peanut butter cups. Anyways, that is going to close out this episode, this edition of Gumball Sports Machine. Thank you all for watching. As I always say, if nobody else is going to tell you, I will tell you. I love you. You matter, and you have a purpose. Strive for happiness and be grateful for what you do have, and instead of upset for what you don't. And Triple OG, would you mind helping me out here?
Hey, yo, man, y'all like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, and do that, man. We appreciate it. Oh yeah, hold on. Don't forget to tell your aunties, cousins, babies, daddies, nephews, brother to come holler at the guys too, man. We here.
All of us. And real quick, you see the drip that I got on. You see the drip that I got on today. I had to rep the squad. Hey, Kyson, where can people get some of this merch? Where can people get some of this drip that I got on today? Yeah, I want to make sure.
My Fred don't got one on, man. My Fred don't got one on, man. Fred's supposed to have one on.
And look at that. Hold on. Hey, that's a lot of drip right there. Hey, that's a lot of heat right there, Kyson. Don't burn yourself now.
We need that green one. We need that green.
No, we don't.
Hey, man.
Hey, Kyson, don't burn yourself now, bro. That's a lot of heat you got there, bro.
Hey, y'all go follow us on Instagram, 888.etz. Get these hats, man. They cheap.
You need that green one.
And let me tell you, hey, don't get the green one. Get the blue one or the pink one. You know what I mean?
Because the green one might be Tone might already got that one locked up.
Yeah, Tone's already got that one infected.
Yeah, green one already sold, but the blue and the pink will be available.
There you go. See?
Go ahead. Hey, you see the way it looks, man. You know you love it. You know you love it. You know you need it. Go follow 888 Apparel on Instagram, man. It's very, very, very attractive merch, man. I love it. I got a bunch of 888 merch here at the crib. So yeah, go support. But as always, man, if you don't mind, like my OG said, hitting that like button, tapping that subscribe button, it helps us grow, and every day it helps us reach out to more people. And it will help us eventually go out in public and go and have these conversations at some live shows maybe in the future. So yeah, like you said, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, go follow all of our social medias, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube Shorts. We post all the time, so we are always active on those. Hit us up, put them in the comments. A bunch of people, I was telling somebody today in the comments, they get on me.
Man, shout out Kev in the comments today, man.
Yeah, shout out Kev, man. Shout out Kev. He refuses to come back on the podcast, but he's in the comments, so I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Because every time he comes on the podcast, I'll be frying his calves.
Well, hey, you know what? That's
our
calves.
He got now it's our calves. Here we go.
Yeah, what you gonna do about that? Huh? What you gonna do about that?
Get it?
Do something. Do something.
Shout out Fred too, man. Shout out Fred.
Yeah,
man. Shout out to Fred, man.
D-Lo, I got a surprise for you next pod, baby. Next time I'm on the pod, I got a surprise. You gonna be proud of me. You gonna be like, you know what, Kais, you all right.
I mean, I already think that.
You got not wear no Heat jersey, man.
He bringing back the 6 from Miami.
He gonna have that Bam 83-point game jersey on. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh man, but as always, to my dogs, man, I'm so happy. It warms my heart. We got a full squad today. We had a full show. First and foremost, shout out to my boy, my dog, the man we call Flip Say Less, aka co-host D-Lo. For my dog, my OG, and the man we call the Generalizer, Triple OG Tone. And for our expert analyzer, if I can speak English, analyzer, there's nobody more experienced, more expertise when it comes to basketball and football, and it's for the reason we call him Killa, the analyzer. Kyson, 888 Apparel on Instagram. Go follow. Go get you some merch. You fly. Listen, you get you some 888 Apparel. I don't want to tell no secrets, boys. Okay. Every time I wear that apparel, ooh, that's a nice shirt. Where you get that from? Hey, all the bad ladies, you know what I'm saying? All the bad women, they come up to me and say, yo. And so, hey, yo, Molly Mall. I need now that they ain't got a deep voice like that, you know what I'm saying? It's okay, we accept that. But
Molly Mall.
you know, you know, ladies come up to me and say, "Yo, Molly Mall, where you get that? Where you get that shirt from? Where you get that drip from?" I said, and then, hey, then it starts from there. But shout out to these boys, man. We will be back on Thursday night. Don't forget, Thursday nights is no longer Tuesdays and Fridays. It is Sundays and Thursdays. We will be back Thursday night to preview the Final Four and react to the latest NBA news going into the NBA playoffs. For yours truly, Jamal Gumo, aka Gumball, aka Mr. You know Gumo. It is nice to be important, but it is much, much more important to be nice. I am going to remember to end the stream this time. I forgot to start it, but I'm gonna remember to end it. We love you all. Have a great week. All right, let's move on.